The people want to know how you chose a jumpsuit for the wedding.
Well, with the
and when you sending a subliminal message, you wearing the pants in the house. Tell them how you called me your Lord.
I just...
Let me tell you this.
This man.
Yeah, I wanted to fall out.
Did you?
No woman has ever called me their Lord before.
And I've never called a man my
you better
Lord
not.
before.
No.
The type of pain that you feel coming from a divorce, it's pain that you don't forget. And so you're reminded of that when you're thinking about, I know that I was, when I was thinking about marrying again. I just was not expecting that. I don't think anybody in the room was expecting it, but he shared that he was giving this dowry, this gift to my mother, and in it represented every year that I had been born, and that he wanted to repay her for giving birth to me, for taking care of me. And y'all, I was toppled over. I didn't think that I would be able to get through it. And so I think that it was by far the most mindful thing a man has ever done.
Suspect is Iman during the day, Harriet Tubman at night.
Suspect running to the barbershop to get that line sprayed in.
Welcome to a special exclusive edition of Jamal Bryant's Let's Be Clear with my wife. How you laughing already? You like the black Lucille Ball. You just laughing the whole way.
Don't listen, my joy. It's
yes,
joy.
I love it.
Yes.
And the joy we have.
I know how you feel about saying wife, though.
No, it's great. I've been practicing.
You've been practicing?
Yes, it's been great. I'm still in my intro.
Oh.
Welcome to a special edition
Fix me.
of the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast with my wonderful, warm, and winsome wife, Dr. Karri Turner-Bryant.
Hello.
How does it feel to be the happiest woman alive?
Because who said I'm the happiest woman alive?
They can see it all over your face.
It feels great. I feel amazing. How you feel, Dr. Bryant?
Listen. I don't know if there's a word that describes it. Have you ever read Coretta Scott King's book?
No.
She wrote a book that and those of you who don't know, Dr. Karri is also an author.
Yes.
She is also a entrepreneur. She is also a professor.
Yes.
And we've been talking the last couple of days about her next book that she wants to write.
Yes.
But you have to read Coretta Scott King's book first before you write your next book.
Of course.
Yes.
Tell me.
Her book is entitled My Life with the King.
Here we go. And I walked right into that. I just walked right into I should have known.
Yes, it was a bestseller.
I'm sure it was.
In 1972. Those of you who have not read it, it's available on Amazon.
And you feel like me reading it now will assist me with what?
No, just some of the things that she's had to walk through in that life of preparation.
And what life of preparation would I need to walk through?
I'm saying this is Kate Middleton. So those of you...
Y'all, this is about to be a long podcast. Because he already started. Kate Middleton?
Yes. This isn't new. Don't act like this is new.
Yeah, but you've not said this in public space. So now that we're having this conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
No, okay.
Cut. We got to start up.
No, we gonna keep rolling. Roll with it, baby. We got to roll with it. Tell me how life has been post-marriage, post-wedding.
Life has been great. It's been amazing. It's been...
Like a dream?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
I wouldn't say like a dream,
What would you compare it to?
Jamal.
No, I'm asking you. What would you compare it to?
I don't know if there's something that I would compare it to, but it has been a very beautiful, amazing... Whimsical would be a word I would use to describe it. It's been fun. It's been awesome. How would you describe? Do you got the left side of your body working again?
Yeah, well, no, it's working. I've never, I've never taken LSD or mushrooms, but I feel like it's been an out of body experience.
That's good. good.
That was great. Somebody
Yes.
there every day. Somebody there every night.
How you really feel about
No,
that?
it's
though?
great.
Have you been okay?
It has been wonderful.
So have you used the engagement time to wrap your mind around? Because when we were dating, you
Yes.
weren't that way. So
I wasn't what way?
you weren't how you are now, where you are adjusted to me being with you every day. Let's talk the truth about that. That's not really who you were.
No, I wasn't a husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've grown into the role.
But how did you grow into the role?
Just through prayer and supplication and planning out. No, I was prepared in my mind before it happened.
Really?
Yeah.
So one of our good
You
friends.
kept asking me, are you ready? Are you sure?
Yes.
I said, no, I'm at peace.
Yeah.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
I was going to say that Nate said to me, our good friend Nate,
Yes.
said to me that typically before a man proposes, he is already set and he's weighed all the pros and the cons.
Yes.
He's set in his mind what it's going to be.
Yes.
So he said you probably had already come to peace with what that was going to look like before you proposed. Is that true?
It is.
Okay.
It is. I went through a National Day of Mourning.
What National Day of Mourning?
They had to process through.
What were you mourning exactly?
No, not me. I was just thinking about nations.
You weren't mourning no nations. See, y'all, I'm trying to.
They were putting the flag at half mast.
Who was put for what?
Caribbean nations, West Indian nations. And they said, a part.
The streets?
Not the streets. I wasn't in
Yeah,
there.
you were in the streets,
No,
brother.
no. I was on the highway.
Yes.
I was on the highway.
If the nations are mourning, what would
Yes.
you call it?
No, grieving. No, really. That was
Sir,
you dealing with a decade.
of recklessness. Of recklessness.
No, not at all.
Yeah, what would you call it?
I'm of self.
Come on.
No.
Come on. This is me you talking to, dog. Come on.
A decade
A
of self-awareness of finding who I was evolving into. And I landed. I found in you a resting place.
Amen.
This is it.
Amen.
This is all I need.
Okay.
I can make it from here.
Good.
Okay. So let's go backwards. A lot of people want to know, how did you prepare yourself mentally? Seriously, how did you prepare mentally, knowing what you were going into the Black Buckingham Palace?
The Black Buckingham. This is why this is not going to work.
No,
we cannot,
no,
y'all, we
listen.
cannot have this
No.
conversation without
Okay,
a host.
no.
Because it's going to go left.
No.
How did I prepare
Okay.
to sit in
Okay,
the Black
let me-
Buckingham Palace?
let me-
And he really believes this.
No.
Yes.
Okay, go back to your conversation with my late mother,
Yes.
who said what to you? Tell me, what did my mother say to you
Which time?
on what it is that she was bequeathing over to you?
Yes. So she did.
Yes.
So after we got engaged, he called his parents, and Rev C got on the phone in the only way that she can, and she said to me, that they had been praying for me. She
Yes.
said that I was an answered prayer,
Yes.
and that they had been praying for me. She said that if she could have written heaven herself,
My Lord.
if she could have written heaven herself, she couldn't have asked for a better daughter in love.
Yes.
And that she's not said this, but she wanted to make sure that I knew that I was an answer to what they had been asking God for. And she did also say that she believed that the legacy of their family was secured with me.
Woo!
And
That's
so-
heavy now. Don't jump over that too
listen,
quick.
no, it was very heavy.
Yeah.
It was very, very heavy. And so, but for those of you who know Rev C or had encountered her in any way, you understand how powerful and how amazing she was. And so it meant the world for me I don't want to say have her approval, but to have her blessing
Yes.
over our relationship and our marriage and our future. And more so than that, because, a parent can be like, oh, this is fine that you all are together.
Right.
But for her to say that she felt confident that the legacy of her family was secured with me is a whole different type of thing. So there were some things that I believe she saw naturally, but that she also saw in the spirit realm that really affirmed me in a way that I didn't know that I needed,
Yes.
but that I was able to receive from her. So it was really a beautiful moment.
What we've never talked about in public space
Mm-hmm.
is talking about when I brought you home to meet my parents.
I was very nervous.
Yes.
I was very nervous. And let me just say this. So we had some conversation around meeting his parents. But there had not been anything definitive, right?
Yes.
And so when he finally was like, I want you to meet my parents, I'm like, okay. I was very, very nervous about it. I asked you if you were nervous because you turn into like a 12-year-old, honestly, with your parents. You love them so much. You have so much honor and respect for them. And so in my mind, I was like, oh my God, if his parents hate me, this is immediately about to be over. It's going to go left. So I was very nervous, but they were very warm. They were very kind, hilarious people. So that made it easier. But how were you feeling about taking me to meet them?
I was a nervous wreck.
Really?
Oh, listen, I didn't know whether it was going to be Azusa, it was going to be Dr. Phil. I don't know if it was going to be the Cosby Show. It could have been any of those things, depending on where the universe was spinning in that moment. And as I said to you, I don't just casually bring people to my parents.
Sure.
Yeah, so for me to do that was a very big deal.
Yeah. And there was some nervousness for me around it because we come from two very different backgrounds.
Yes.
At least I thought.
Yes.
So, I was nervous about just kind of going into the space of being around your parents who have been married for so long and the value that they have, on marriage. My father and my mother were not married when my mom gave birth to me. I don't necessarily come from a rich history of marriages staying together. And so there were so many little things like that I think that I was working through even in my own mind as I was going to meet them. And so a lot of those things came up as well for me, but it turned out to be a beautiful experience.
It was great. They prayed over us. They brought out anointing oil, had communion, had people kneeling, standing up.
Yes, it was beautiful.
No, it was great. You walked out like, wow, I think we married already.
No, I did. I said that to you. It literally felt like it was the divine seal, I think, that God gave to us, the confirmation that we were going in the right path.
Yeah.
And that he was pleased, because I know one thing about your parents and mine as well. Had they not thought that it was the right thing for us to do, they would have said so.
Oh, yes.
And at no point did they ever say that they didn't think that was the case. They definitely gave us wisdom, challenged us to think about some things, but we knew at the end of the day it was something that they were happy with. And I think that made it easier for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about me going to see your mother?
Well, first of all, I was like, my mama don't even like you.
Yes. False prophet. False prophet.
I was like, I felt like, because you're such a, you're just so smooth. I always say that. You're so smooth. You're such a warm person. You're a funny person. I was like, she ain't gonna challenge him on nothing. She ain't gonna be like, what is this? What is your expectations? He gonna go down there and woo her. But she said that you were the perfect gentleman, and that you didn't do that you were very humble when you came to talk to her. that you were very humble.
And she was very direct.
Was she?
Oh, what's this meeting for? Why are you here? I got to work today. I like, wait. At least eat the soup first. I'm trying to get to it.
Oh, what are your intentions
Oh, yeah,
with my
listen.
daughter?
She's like, what is this meeting about?
What is this?
I'm like, we're going to get to it in just a minute. I just wanted to spend some time with you.
Listen.
She's like, yeah, I know, but what you want? I'm like, whoa.
And she is the sweetest person.
No, she's
but
sweet as
yes,
pie.
No.
But she didn't have no time for frills
Yes.
or nothing.
Yes.
And then after that, I met your spiritual father, Bishop Blake,
Yeah.
and I was a nervous wreck.
Yes. He called me.
I like, excuse me, sir, I got to go to the bathroom.
Did you?
I did.
Wow. Why were you so nervous?
I don't know.
You should have been, though, because had he said to me that I don't think that this is the right
no, he wasn't gonna say
direction,
that.
you don't know that?
He wasn't going to say that.
How do you figure?
I said to you.
Had the Lord told him that this is...
The Lord wouldn't have told him that.
How do you know?
Because I know what he told me. And I said to you,
Yeah.
if at any time God tells you this is not it,
You did. You did.
oh, I won't even fight you. I won't chase you. If he tell you, I am not Boaz, then go on. And you stayed right there.
Don't put that go on.
No, I'm saying.
Don't put that go on it.
Okay, well, let's fast forward.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward.
Yes.
The people want to know how you chose a jumpsuit for the wedding.
Well, with the
And were you sending a subliminal message you wearing the pants in the house?
Oh, no. You know what? It's so funny. People are so strange because I saw like some comments around that. Like people were analyzing the picture saying she wore pants and she's standing up and he's sitting down. Yes. I called you Lord. I called you my Lord in our vows.
Wait, they didn't hear the vows. They didn't hear the vows?
Yes.
But tell them how you called me your Lord.
I just...
Let me tell you this.
This man.
Yeah, I wanted to fall out.
Did you?
No woman has ever called me their Lord before.
And I've never called a man my
you better
Lord
not.
before.
No, that thing did something to me. Let me tell you how much it did to me. I don't remember nothing else you said that day.
That was at the end.
Hey, listen, I don't remember nothing I said that day.
Oh my goodness.
When you say, oh no, it's two things you said in them vows. We did our own vows.
Yes.
That, and then when you did the suicide pact, she said in the vows, when you die, I'ma die. I was like, uh-oh. I was
We
like,
going there.
this is law and order. Those two vows took me straight out.
Really? Really?
I don't remember nothing else. I'm going to have to go back and read them.
Yes.
But they were powerful. They were probing. They were prolific.
Yes. Well,
they were poetic.
I was about to be having to say my vows to little Socrates.
No, but listen.
So
at your
I
own
needed
admission,
to make sure.
You blew me out the water. No one has quoted my vows. No one. Drum roll. Not even you. No one has mentioned my vows.
Your vows were beautiful.
Yeah, what did I say?
Dear, don't do that.
Yeah, just give me one line. I had 2 pages. Give me one line. Give me one line of my vows that you took.
First of all,
Yes.
your vows were absolutely amazing.
Yes, what part
But
did you like the best?
I was taken back by. First of all,
Yes.
we didn't even get to the outfit. We have
Yes.
already moved to the vows. But
Yes.
since we're here, I do want to
Yes.
circle back to the outfit.
Yes.
But your vows were amazing. But more than the vows were when you presented my mom with a dowry.
Yes. We done jumped all the way over the pantsuit.
I know
but we here.
I know. How do we go back to that?
We can't. Let's deal with the dowry
Okay.
for 1 minute.
Yeah. So because you all in this moment, we had mapped out, we didn't know what each other's vows were going to be, but we knew that that would be a moment in the ceremony.
Yes.
And so after he shared his vows, he's going a route that I wasn't familiar with. So I'm like, he's going rogue. This is not a part of the program. This is what he do. He's just going to do something else. And so, he starts talking about, how he was made a king in Ghana. And I'm
That's
like,
right.
oh God, where is this going? I was like, is he about to make me a queen? What is about to happen? But in that, he was sharing that a part of, African culture, even some cultures in Asia, a dowry is a part of the marital experience. And
The dowry is a gift that you give to the parents of the bride.
Yes.
Yes.
A gift that you give to the parents of the
Yes.
bride. And I just was not expecting that. I don't think anybody in the room was expecting it, but he shared that he was giving this dowry, this gift to my mother, and in it represented every year that I had been born, and that he wanted to repay her for giving birth to me, for taking care of me. And y'all, I was toppled over. I didn't even think
doubled
that
over.
I didn't think that I would be able to get through it. And so I think that it was by far the most mindful thing a man has ever done, the kindest thing, the most beautiful thing. And I will never, in all of my years, ever forget that. I know my mother will never forget that. So I've told you thank you a million times, but thank you for doing that. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That is worth not remembering my vows.
I do remember that.
Okay. Let's circle back to that dress.
Yes. So let me
jumper.
the jumpsuit. So let me say this. We started by talking about, you asked about the whole because I wore the pants. Do I think wear the pants
That's
in
what
the
the people
relationship?
online said. Not me.
Right.
I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It took my breath away when they opened up the double
Did
doors.
it?
I was like, this is Ebony Fashion Fair.
Not fashion.
I had never seen anybody come down the aisle in a sequin jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think I had no idea what it was.
He didn't even know the color. He didn't know anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just given instructions.
Yes.
To go get a green tuxedo.
But we're going to talk about that because
Okay.
I gave instructions on what to wear, but in true Jamal Bryant fashion, he going to add a little razzle dazzle to it. And that's what he did. So, and you looked amazing, baby. So that's okay. But let me go back to the jumpsuit. So no, I did not wear pants because I think I wear the pants in the relationship. I wear pants, but it has nothing to do with that. It was not symbolic of me putting on any overtones of masculinity. Sometimes I think people spend more time reading the body language of other people than they do their own life. So if you invested that same amount of energy in trying to decipher why I wore pants and put that into your own destiny and purpose, you might be in a different space in your own life if you did that. So let's be clear about that, because people are weird.
Yes.
You are trying to break down things that don't even make sense. It's not that deep. I dress for me. And now I dress for my husband. So I don't, I dress for
Y'all
me.
rewind that and then listen to it again.
Yes. I dress for me, and now I dress for my husband. And when I say that, fashion is what it feels like for me. So I knew that I didn't want to do anything traditional.
Yes.
I thought about just getting something traditional, and I called Joyce, who is my sister and dear friend. And I was like, Joyce, I'm looking for a dress. And she was like, sister, you're not going to just be able to just put on a dress. It's not you. It's not your personality. And so as we were kind of going through the process, I had saw a picture earlier in the year that I just held in my phone with this pink dress. It was actually an AI design photograph. And I knew then that I wanted to wear pink. So I did not want to wear white. Everybody knows that this is a second marriage for the both of us. So I wanted to do something that was not traditional. I wanted to wear a jumpsuit because I love jumpsuits. Hence, I have on a jumpsuit today. And then I wanted some drama. So we wanted to add, the train on the back of it. And so it was designed by an incredible young woman who grew up in Iraq, who lives in Detroit, moved here to the States at the time, did not have a job, was not self-sufficient at the time. And Rita was telling me that people around her was saying, you won't make it, you're not going to survive, you don't know how to do anything. And she literally taught herself how to sew. She watched YouTube videos and practiced. And now she has really a team of maybe about 10 designers that work for her, seamstresses that work for her, that are incredible. She's such a beautiful spirit. Rita and Jessica work with Joyce to get it done. But I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. But yeah, I don't dress for people. So for people who felt like they had an issue with it or they didn't like it, you wear what you want to at your wedding. So when you get married, you wear what you want to wear. But as for mine, I wore what I thought was most representative of me at this time in my life. And then the second dress I also loved. So I wanted to wear white for the reception. And I wanted like this old glam kind of look. And so we were able to create that as well. So Joyce led that experience along with Rita and Jessica. And so we came up with that too. But I loved both of them. So I've gotten so many people loved it. And then there were people who, weren't as fond of it. But I ain't losing no sleep over who didn't like what they didn't even contribute to.
Well, I thought you were smashingly
Thank you, baby.
incredible.
Thank you.
People want to know why in the world are y'all having 2 ceremonies?
Yeah.
This is over the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to share with them, really, initially, we wanted to have something very small. So we talked about 40 people when we first got engaged. And then also around that time, your mom was going through her process of chemo at the time and really working through trying to get better. And one of the things after we got engaged that we talked about was she asked me, is this going to be a production? And I told her that it was absolutely not going to be a production. And we wanted a smaller experience initially. Not that anyone is more important than anyone, but we just wanted a smaller experience initially so that your mom would be able to be in that space and be comfortable, because at that time we didn't want her around a lot of people. Right. And so, as she transitioned during that time, we still ended up moving forward with the smaller one, but really that was built with the heart of her in mind. And so we knew that having a second one, we needed to do something else because we have our new birth family. There's so many people in the community, and Jamal knows everybody on the planet, every soul on the planet. That's he knows. True. It's so true. I know like 5 people. He knows 5,000 people. And so
and that room was lopsided.
Yeah, with you had more people.
No.
It was your people.
Y'all go back and look at those pictures from the first one. Your people was around the walls.
No, dear.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that, but
you couldn't see. I'm saying you were tear stained.
What?
I'm saying you it was too much coming out of those aqueducts.
Got it.
No, they were there.
Yeah.
They were jammed.
But the second one, we wanted to be able to celebrate with more of our family and friends. So that's why we're doing the second one.
Yes. So the first one was 70?
80.
80.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is a small, intimate group of 1,000.
Jesus. Yes.
Yeah. 1,000.
It's going to be a party.
Yes. So you hopscotched over it. I want to back into it on this being a second marriage for both of us.
Yeah.
Did you have pause on getting married again?
No, I don't think I ever had pause on getting married again. I had pause on whether or not I would meet the right person to ever marry again.
My Lord.
I had pause on that. I had pause on dating. I had pause on what it would take to actually get to the marital space. I never doubted that I was a wife. So that was never a question for me. It was the journey of actually getting here. I didn't like dating.
Yeah.
I didn't like dating. I didn't like, for some people it's fun. You getting to know people. Listen, I don't want to know everybody color. I don't, you got to go out to dinner. You got to do, you have to go through the process of getting to know people, which means that you also then have to go through the process of meeting their representative and getting beyond the representative. And we live during a time really right now where nobody wants to get naked. There's no, in the sense of really exposing the truest part of themselves, because everybody on some level has been hurt. And so when you're showing up to the dating space, a lot of times you're doing so fully armored, and it doesn't always lend to people getting to know them, really the truest part of who you are. And so I think for me, it was exhausting. It was not something, I'm not saying it was miserable, but it's not something that I found just a lot of joy in. I know a lot of people love to date. It just wasn't me. I've always been like that though. My whole life, I had one boyfriend in high school. I dated one person. I dated a person in college and ended up marrying that person. So I've never been a serial dater is my point. I've dated, but not a serial dater. And so I think I just didn't know if I would get to marriage again, because I had not had experiences that made me feel like marriage would be a part of the cards. So I was literally holding on to what God told me, not what I was experiencing in my dating life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I was more afraid of another divorce than I was excited about another marriage.
Wow. Yeah.
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 Man, I don't know if I can live through that trauma again.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably my greatest hurdle my parents were examples.
Yeah.
Both sets of grandparents were examples. I like, man, that's a rough thing. My therapist said divorce is worse than death because you still have a body walking around.
Yeah.
So you never get, quote, closure, that you're still having to walk through it. What would you say to people who won't give themselves permission to go back into that space? Because it requires a lot of vulnerability.
Oh, sure.
To open yourself up to that level, not just of joy, but also of pain.
Yeah, no, I would say that divorce is like, it's like any experience we have in life.
Yeah.
Regrettably, nobody goes into, you don't go into marriage believing that you're going to get divorced. I don't think anybody with the right intentions and motives plans for that. But I believe that it is a life experience like other experiences that we have. And so you cannot hold yourself hostage to what happened before. The only thing that you can do, the only thing that I did was take responsibility for my role in the demise of my marriage, the things that I could have done better, the things I could have done differently. And I have equipped myself with all of those things so that this marriage will be healthier, will be able to thrive, so that I can show up as the best person I can be, as the best woman that I can be. And so I would encourage people to do the same thing. Don't let any experience hold you, imprison you to what you once were or what one decision was or a situation was. You have the right to be liberated. Yeah. And I think, oftentimes God has liberated us from a thing that we continue to keep ourselves in bondage to. And so if God says that we are free, how then do we keep ourselves imprisoned in something that we don't have to stay in?
No, that's powerful. When you navigating towards marriage for a second time, the most reoccurring thought was what?
That's a good question. I think it was around, can this really work? Is this something that is going to hurt me? Or is this something that is going to push me and grow me and cause me to be a better woman? The type of pain that you feel coming from a divorce, it's pain that you don't forget. And so you're reminded of that when you're thinking about, I know that I was, when I was thinking about marrying again. I wasn't led by that, but I was reminded of that. And so, when when I was considering it, I'm like, I don't ever want to feel that again. And so if I go into this, is there the possibility of me feeling that type of pain again? Is there the possibility of me going through that type of experience again? And I think that was what I thought about. I asked you, regularly, are you good? Are you prepared? Is this something that you're fully ready for? And, some people would say, oh, well, why would you ask that? You must didn't think that he was prepared. It wasn't that. I just felt like we needed to have continual conversation about where we were.
Yeah.
And I didn't want either of us to ever feel like because we're in public space, we've made this public announcement and all of this public stuff going on, that we could never have a moment where if we decided personally that we want to pull back for a minute, that we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to make sure that you had the space to say yes or no, or I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that, so that we would be able to address whatever that is, because we're doing this for us, not, for any other reason.
What has been your biggest adjustment of having to live in public?
Everything. Everything. It's not my natural personality. I'm naturally a very introverted person. I'm naturally to myself. I like spending time alone. I have most of my get out of here. Most of my friendships I've been friends with them since middle school, or they're at least 10 to 15 years. I've recently, have some newer relationships, but I say all of that to say that I have a very extroverted calling, but I'm a very introverted person.
That's me.
It is not you.
No,
it
that's
is
me.
not you at all.
Yes.
You on all day, every day,
No,
24 hours a
Shy
day.
brother from the
You are
Heartfelt.
not a shy person at all. Me, on the other hand, I actually am. So I think what has been most uncomfortable about it is just every part of your life, people peering into. I saw someone wrote something very nasty, as they do, and another person commented to her, oh, well, you can say whatever you want to say. If they're in public space, they have to take it. No, I ain't got to take nothing. You don't have the right to be cruel or disrespectful or dishonorable. I see your face. Because someone is in public space. So
what y'all don't know, this is a warning. Dr. Karri Bryant is in Peru. She is a blood, a Crip,
don't say
a gangster disciple. And I have to wrestle that phone with y'all.
Listen.
Leave her alone in them IG comments.
Listen.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Listen.
I can only hold her back when I'm present.
Listen, I'm a kind person. I'm a sweet person, but listen, all right now. All right, we only gonna go so far.
Yes.
All right now. So I try to be
You've been
gracious,
doing well.
but you don't have a right to be disrespectful to somebody because you feel like they're in public space.
Yes.
And I think that's
who you don't know.
Who you don't know.
Yes.
So a part of it is you piece together this idea of who people are, and you have built an opinion about that, and it's not even true. And let me go further to say, there are things that I might not like in public space. There are things that I might not agree with in public space. I don't make it my business to feel like I need to comment on every single thing that people do. If I don't like what you got on today, that's your life. I don't go to your page. It's devastating. No, you and your spirit is devastating. You was devastating. I'm not cruel in that way where I feel like I need to just figure out a way to make a person feel bad today, or to say something dishonorable or hurtful. I think that's the part that is most uncomfortable, because they remove the humanity from who you are. So they don't think about, when they're calling me whatever they're calling me, or witch this week or evil this week or Jezebel this week. Not that any of it is founded on anything. It's just how you feel about how I look or how I show up.
Right.
You don't think about the fact that my mother is reading that I have nieces and nephews that read that. And it's just things that are disgusting. And typically they are the ones who have servant for Jehovah in the caption of their Instagram profile. Now, you a servant of Satan. You ain't no servant of Jehovah. Because anytime you can call yourself a believer and fix your mouth to go on someone's page to say something that is despicable to them, you don't serve God, you serve Satan. And if you think that the Holy Spirit is leading you to do that, I suggest you go back and check the fruit of the Spirit so that you really know how you are operating. So I think that that's the stuff that is uncomfortable. But then also let me say this. I have feelings and emotions, but the Lord told me at least about 8 years ago, He said to me one day, I was just in prayer, He said, you have to know who you are now, because where you are going, you won't be able to figure it out later. And so while I have insecurities, like everybody has insecurities, I am anchored in what God has said about me. And that is the thing that keeps and sustains me. So I'm not moved by who doesn't like my outfit today. I'm not moved by who may not resonate with my ministry or my voice. That's okay. I'm anchored in who God called me to be and the people that He has called to me that will resonate with how I show up. Because the problem is when you don't and you begin to take in the opinions of other people who don't know you, is you will start trying to conform to something that you are not to please people who don't even know you. So, so I think that that's the most uncomfortable part about it. How does it feel when you have to try? Because you are very good with you'll be like, put the phone down. Don't say that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't do that.
I already know when you're going to go in because the phone is this close to you.
I be breathing on.
Oh, yeah.
I know these.
When it's down here, I know we at peace. The closer it get to your eyes, you like, did I read what I just thought that I read?
Because it'd be so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's and then let me say this. What people will type online, they will never say to your face. I ain't ever had nobody walk up to me and say X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's just the audacity of it all.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah.
What did you feel after the scare with Bishop Jakes last week? And I showed you the clip of moments before that happened.
Yeah.
Of Sarita Jakes praying during the message before he got sick.
Yeah.
Tell me what was going through your mind just in seeing that.
Yeah. Well, let me say that we both give honor and love and reverence to Lady Jakes and, of course, Bishop Jakes. In seeing the video of her praying and interceding for him prior to it happening was really refreshing and reminding really us all that that's really what marriage is about and what partnership is about. I think oftentimes people look at the role of a first lady or, technically the role of a first lady, and you think that it's some seat that you occupy, somebody helping you with your stuff, but they don't realize the level of warfare that you are contending with for yourself, for your husband, for the ministry that you oversee. And so she was doing what I believe she has always done, been praying for her husband to ensure that in life and in the ministry moment, that God is equipping him with all that he needs to be able to get this word out. Because what people don't see is who you all are outside of that pulpit. Yeah. They don't see the level of pressure. They don't see the level of stress. They don't see the level of what you're contending with in your own body, your own physical health. And so a wife's prayer, her prayer in that moment, we don't know if that could have been worse had she not been praying. And so I'm grateful that she was so tapped into her husband and so tapped into the Spirit of God that she knew to be interceding at that moment, so that it didn't go down a dire direction. And so I honor that in her. I'm grateful that you recognized the power of a wife's prayers and her intercession, even in that moment, because oftentimes people are not looking at that at all. Sometimes the wife is a byproduct. They're not even considering who she is and what she means in the life of her husband. And so I just honor Lady Jakes and Bishop, and grateful for her example, not just in a couple of years. She truly is a matriarch in this, and there's much to be learned from her.
Tell me what resonates in your head. What's going on in your mind?
He has turned into a full interviewer. It's not. Do y'all see him?
Yeah.
Yes.
These are questions I want to know to people.
But when am I going to ask you questions?
Right after this question. After this question. What's going on in your heart and in your mind when you hear people call you First Lady?
Y'all, he asked me this on purpose. I'm still getting adjusted to it. Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not a typical first lady. I'm not a typical pastor. I'm not a typical woman in ministry. And the challenge with labels are that people expect for you to live up to what they think that is. So,
or what they've been exposed
or
to
what they
previously.
have been exposed to previously. And the truth is, I am not that. I am redefining what that looks like for me. And so sometimes it makes me a little bit uncomfortable because I'm working through that, but I just don't want another label placed on me in how I should move, how I should sit, I'm showing up in the fullness of who I am.
It's enough pressure.
Yeah, it
King's
is.
wife alone is that's enough. What's your question? What's your question?
Why are you the way that you are?
What do
That's
you
my question. What
am I?
makes Jamal Bryant who he is?
Karri Turner-Bryant makes me who I am.
You were long that before you met me.
He was curating me for this moment.
Is that so?
Yes, all of it. This is the crowning achievement of my life.
I want you to talk about that a little bit, because I'm about to tell you the crowning achievement of your life. I want to talk about that a little bit because people have said, I give them 2 years. Yes. I give them 6 months. This is not going to last. It's not going to work, which is why intercession is very important. Can you imagine thousands of people speaking against your marriage before it even began? If there was no intercession in the both of us, I don't even know where we would be. But I want to ask you, how does that make you feel when people say that? Because they're like, oh, he's going to mess up again. Oh, he's going to ruin it again. How does that make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel anything because because these are people who don't know me.
Yeah.
They're people who have not been around us to experience our chemistry.
Yeah.
And mutual admiration and love and affection. So I haven't been able to capture any of it.
Yeah. That's good.
Those are hecklers from the peanut gallery.
Yeah. Yeah. So what really brought you out of the streets?
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
I said, what really brought you out of the streets? What brought you from, dating and all that kind of stuff into a space of wanting to be married?
What you have to understand. We just in the 7th grade.
The 7th grade?
7th grade, explain it to you. In the 7th grade, I was an honorary crossing guard. So I was only in the streets to help people. Help people get to the other side. It wasn't my love for streets. I just wanted to see people safe, to see them better. I had a neon vest. Like, come on, you got to come on.
You were
here.
a safety patrol.
That's it. I was just on safety patrol. Y'all come out here. The light is getting ready to change. So it was never for me. It was never for me. It was
You
a
were just
sacri-
out there to help
it
people.
was to help people get to
Right.
the
That's
other
what
side.
you tell yourself.
Yes.
The other side of what?
I'm to the other side of their assignment. Nobody has ever honored crossing guards. Think about it. They never give them ribbons, never give them plaques. To
Yes.
this day, you don't even remember the name of your crossing guard.
Mm.
People will always say, thank God for the cafeteria work.
You have
Yep.
really turned this into a whole
No, I'm telling
moment
you
for
the truth.
crossing guards.
Yes. I help people get to their assignment and their
Do
destiny.
y'all hear
That if
this?
it weren't for me, they'd have been hit. So, to all the people who I helped.
No, sir. No, sir.
So,
Mm.
when it was over.
Are you really ready to be a husband?
Listen, you haven't found a person more genetically equipped and psychologically endowed and spiritually calibrated to operate this role than me.
Mm.
I'm telling you.
Mm. Mm.
I pray for you every morning. I administer to you communion.
You administer to me communion?
Yes.
Or do we take communion
We
together?
take communion,
Yeah.
but as high priest, I give out that communion first. It is my honor
Yes.
to serve as husband. It's my greatest delight.
What do I do that gets on your nerves?
Talk. No, I'm saying
Oh my God.
No, let me qualify. Because I am a silent person. So I am used to an environment of silence. And you are very communicative. Is this not true?
Go on.
Yes. So you want to something is always on your mind. And so I have to adjust to being with a radical thinker. It's great. I just have to adjust to that.
So you don't be talking to me, I just be talking to you?
No, I'm not saying you talk to
You
yourself.
wake up talking to me.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do I say?
All kinds of things. If y'all only knew the things that comes out of his mouth, but yet you're saying that. So I never knew that my talking was an issue for you.
No.
Thank you. The world now knows.
No.
Yeah.
I love to hear you talk.
Mm.
I love to hear you talk. I love hearing your thoughts
Mm.
matched into words. I love your imagination.
No,
your
don't try to
dreams.
clean it up
No,
now.
no,
Don't try to
But
clean
I'm
it
saying
up
there are
now.
spot dates. There are spot dates where I just need a zen. I just have to
Okay, Zen. I
have
got
to
you.
move in.
I'm going to show him better than I can tell him.
And
I'm about to give him a Zen.
That's punitive.
That's not punitive.
Yes.
No.
That's emotional
I heard
abuse.
your heart.
That's
I heard...
emotional abuse. Yeah, I'm not telling you to go into silence. I'm just saying that there are moments
Okay.
where I just need introspection.
Sure. Got it.
What do I do that gets on your nerves?
So many things.
What would be your top two?
Talk.
That's okay. Talking is what got us here, so it can't be that.
No, you do things. The things that you do that get on my nerves are like, you feel like you need to be repetitive about things.
I'm a teacher.
No.
No, I'm saying
No.
because I'm a natural teacher,
No.
repetition leads to retention.
Harrison.
No, I'm saying to
Please.
you where
No.
that's the reason that I repeat it a lot. But I don't do that a lot.
Yes, you
Only
do.
when I'm reinforcing.
I don't need you to reinforce
I do,
anything.
but then-
If you say something one time, then
All right, what's the second thing?
one time, but you go one. See, this is
No,
what I'm
I
talking
got
about,
it.
right?
I didn't want to repeat it.
Y'all,
What's the second thing?
y'all praying.
Who is
I
the
need y'all
audience
to.
you
I
talking
need y'all to be
to?
praying right
Okay.
there. The people who
Yes.
watching, I need them to be
Okay.
praying.
What's the second thing?
Being repetitive is the first thing. I don't know, it's just things that you do. Just little things that you always think that you're the captain of something and that you need to tell me what my assignment is to get something done.
No.
Yes, you do that. So for instance, it could
Okay,
be any
let me-
no, y'all. No, y'all.
Let me
It
interrupt.
could be anything. So we
Yes.
go into the movies. Oh, you're the snack captain for tonight. Snack captain just means that he want me to pick up the snacks. and he don't want to have to be dealing with the snack. So anything he doesn't want to do, he tries to make me the captain of. So if it's not
But
snack
I'm giving
captain,
you a title. I'm giving you a title.
if it's not snack captain, it's event coordinator. So if you're the event coordinator, you got to coordinate what we watching on Netflix because he don't want to look for. It's always something. Yes, that gets on my nerves.
But I told you what I said to you.
He thinks that he needs to empower you to do the thing. So for instance, we're on our honeymoon. Devin, who everybody knows, is not with us. So Devin does a lot of filming for him, reels, all of the cool things that you get a chance to see. So he's like, oh, did you capture this? Did you capture that? I'm like, yo, I am not Devin. He was like, oh, but your reels are so good. So I'm capturing things. I put together a reel. He asks me 10 times, have you finished the reel yet? I haven't posted anything. I need the reel. I'm like, listen, brother, I don't work for you. Not in this capacity. I did the reel out of just wanting to do it, but I'm not going to have you sitting on my neck all day until the reel is done. This is what you do.
I did it one time.
No.
And you created one reel. It was just one reel.
Yes, because you harassed me so.
No.
You harassed me so about that one reel that it just became too much.
No, we had other people who were just voluntary, says, how can I help? So the guy out in the desert said, oh, no, I'll do this. You don't have to. I said, oh, man, this guy's gifted. You don't remember that?
Yes. But then you asked me, well, where's the video that he sent? I'm ready to post it. That's what you do. You think it needs to happen right away.
But what I said to you in dating, before we ever got to the honeymoon, I said it's off because you weren't used to leadership. So I had
I had
to show you what leadership was and give directives. And had to give vision.
Who was you giving directives and leadership to prior to?
What do you mean?
In general, since in my dating, I wasn't accustomed to leadership. What was you accustomed to?
Hey, let's
talk about what you was accustomed to.
I never knew love like this before. Mm-hmm. No, there's nothing I can compare to. No, I'm telling you, you are head and shoulders above any person I've ever met in my life. Period. In intellect, in beauty, in spirit.
Thank you,
in
honey.
Soul. I'm telling you, you're the Eiffel Tower.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like, I think this lady is crazy?
Every day. You are functionally insane. Every day. And I love it. It's great. But you manage it well.
Okay.
You manage it well.
What do you manage well?
What you mean? No, seriously, like, what you mean?
What do you feel like you manage well?
The life that we live. The life we live is managed well.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say?
Very much so.
Yeah.
You are an excellent husband. Thank you.
Weak sin, that means a lot. Yes. And your words, keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
People all over the world have become enamored by your laughter.
Yeah.
They just live to hear you laugh. Have you always laughed like this?
No.
When did it start?
Here you go. See?
No, I'm asking you.
I can't.
You just said you haven't always laughed like this. So I'm saying, can you point to the genesis?
No, I can't point to the genesis. We cannot. But let me say this. I've always had a boisterous laugh. I think that my laugh has evolved.
Yes.
I laugh hard and loud and unapologetically now because I went through a season where I didn't laugh.
Yes.
Where I didn't feel there was anything that made me joyful or happy enough to laugh. And I think that when you've lived through those kind of moments, every opportunity I get to laugh, I'm going to be laughing. So it's not something I'm putting on. It really is my natural response to something that I think is funny. One of the reasons why I love you so much is because you really are genuinely funny. You have a dry sense of humor that you really have to be smart to get because otherwise you will miss it. But I love to laugh. So, yeah.
I just hate I didn't know you in those dark periods of your life.
You were You are the dark period.
Suspect is Iman during the day, Harriet Tubman at night.
Suspect took off his orthopedic shoes.
Suspect is running because her car's always broken down.
Suspect running to the barbershop to get that line sprayed in.
Told, let's go. Let's go. I'm late. Go ahead. No, for you to come out of that is great. That's great.
So y'all.
You survived it all.
I did.
People see this laughter.
Yes.
And this boisterous joy that you have. Do you ever get angry?
You answer.
No, I want you to tell the people.
Of course I do.
To what level?
Depending on what it is.
What would you say the range is?
What do you mean range?
Does your anger have any limit? Does it? What's the top?
Of course, my anger has limits, but the Bible says that we can be angry and sin not.
Now that's
so
the key.
Anger is not a sin in and of itself.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have anger and not sin. Yeah, but I definitely get angry.
Do you think I have anger issues?
No. No, you are very, very even keel. Now, when you do raise your voice, I know that you're upset. I can probably name
3. Yeah,
maybe 3 times that you have raised your voice, but you don't get angered very easly at all.
That's Zen.
Yeah, you do. Probably because you the one creating the anger for everybody else.
No. No.
No, I will say that you are
an Augustine monk.
Now you are not a monk.
I'm saying
now you're a monk.
No. I'm saying that
you was a king. Now you a monk, all in one podcast recording.
No. Do you have
a street crosser?
I told you in 7th grade. I don't do that anymore. I'm out of the streets. Do you have any other questions before we release these people?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to the most in marriage to Jamal Harrison Bryant? Pull that mic.
I'm looking forward to all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. All that. I'm looking forward to the most beautiful parts of marriage. And I know that there will be difficult parts as well. But I'm just looking forward to life with you.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
what I'm looking forward to.
I wish I could blush.
You can.
This is too much. I can't take it. You're watching Jamal Bryant and Dr. Karri Bryant, a.k.a. First Lady, on Let's Be Clear. We're so grateful you are part of this special presentation. Do me a favor. I want you to share this with all of the people you know who want to get married, people who have come out of a difficult marriage, those who are trying to believe in love again, those who are single, those who are divorced, those who are alone. They're going to want to see this. This conversation is for everybody. Love you. Thank everybody for cheering. And y'all stay out of Dr. Karri's comments. Have a good one.